Regarding motorcycles, brands like Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Suzuki might be the first names that come to mind. But KTM? It's been carving out its own space in the industry for years. This Austrian company may not have the same level of recognition as some of the Japanese giants, but make no mistake, it's been growing fast and turning heads along the way. So, whether you're considering buying a KTM or just curious about what makes the brand stand out, here's everything you need to know about KTM. KTM's story started back in 1934 when a young Austrian engineer named Hans Trunkenpolz opened a small repair shop in Mattighofen, Austria. Originally, it was just a place to fix cars and motorcycles, and he called it Kraftfahrzeug Trunkenpolz Mattighofen. By 1953, the shop had evolved into much more. Businessman Ernst Kronreif came on board, buying a significant stake in the company. His investment not only provided crucial financial support, but also led to a rebranding as Kronreif and Trunkenpolz Mattighofen, giving us the KTM name we know today. That same year, KTM launched its first motorcycle, the R100, a compact 100cc model. Almost everything on the bike was built in-house, with the only exception being the engine, which came from Fitchel and Sachs. Despite having just 20 employees, KTM was already managing to produce about 3 motorcycles a day. Growth came quickly. KTM expanded its lineup, brought in more workers, and started making a name for itself in the motorcycle world. By the 1960s, Hans Trunkenpolz had passed the business to his son, Erich, who took things to the next level. KTM even branched out into making bicycles, not just motorcycles. However, the success didn't last forever. By the 1980s, the motorcycle industry was changing, and Japanese manufacturers were dominating the market. KTM struggled to keep up, and by 1991, financial trouble forced the company into bankruptcy. The business was divided into 4 separate parts, with the motorcycle division, now called KTM Sport Motorcycle GmbH, eventually landing in the hands of Cross Industries. This investment firm was led by a young engineer named Stefan Pierer, who would go on to shape KTM's future. Under Pierer's leadership, KTM made a huge comeback. The brand got a fresh start in 1994 with the release of the Duke, a sport bike that helped reshape KTM's identity. 4 years later, KTM engineers got to work on the LC8 V-twin engine, which eventually powered the 950 Adventure in 2003, officially kicking off KTM's multi-cylinder era. But Pierer's vision stretched far beyond KTM's own lineup. He had an instinct for spotting opportunities at just the right moment, and he wasn't afraid to make bold moves. In 2005, KTM took over Husaberg, a Swedish brand founded by former Husqvarna engineers. Then, in 2007, Pierer set his sights on WP Suspension, a company specializing in high-performance motorcycle suspension. He didn't rush the deal. He played the long game, fully bringing WP under KTM's umbrella by 2017. Then came the game changer. In 2013, BMW decided to part ways with Husqvarna, a brand they had acquired in 2007. Pierer wasted no time, adding Husqvarna to KTM's portfolio. But this acquisition also meant the end of Husaberg. The two brands had always been intertwined. Husaberg was essentially a continuation of Husqvarna after its original sale in the 1980s. Keeping them separate no longer made sense, so Husaberg was absorbed into Husqvarna, reuniting their shared legacy under one roof. Pierer's appetite for expansion didn't stop there. In 2019, he brought GasGas into the fold, a Spanish brand best known for its trials and enduro bikes. With KTM, Husqvarna, and GasGas now under the Pierer Mobility umbrella, the strategy became clear. Share as many parts as possible to streamline production and cut costs, while still maintaining each brand's unique identity. But Pierer Mobility is more than just motorcycles. The company owns half of Kiska, the design firm responsible for KTM's sharp, aggressive styling, and now handles design work for Husqvarna and GasGas as well. Kiska's reach extends beyond motorcycles, collaborating with brands like the Chinese manufacturer CF Moto. Alongside Kiska, Peer Mobility also controls Peer Innovation, a company focused on cutting-edge technologies such as AI, blockchain, and machine learning. There's even a software company under its wing, Avocado, expanding Peer's reach into the digital world. The numbers tell the story of Peer's dominance. In 2022, the company pushed out a massive 375,492 motorcycles, up over 42,000 from the year before, a solid 13% jump. Leading the charge was KTM with 258,494 bikes, followed by Husqvarna at 70,938 and Gas rounding things out with 29,691. One of the areas where KTM truly shines is off-road and adventure riding. They've built a rock-solid reputation as one of the top dirt bike and adventure motorcycle brands in the world, dominating everything from rugged trails to all-terrain racing. For those who love exploring rugged landscapes, KTM offers a bike for just about every kind of rider. From motocross and enduro to cross-country, electric, and supermoto models, they provide both two-stroke and four-stroke options in a variety of sizes. The lineup starts with smaller bikes like the KTM 50SX for young riders and goes all the way up to the powerful KTM 690 SMCR. Even beginner-friendly electric options, such as the KTM SXE5, make it easier for new riders to get into the sport. Beyond the dirt, KTM has expanded into dual sport and touring motorcycles, a segment that has grown in popularity in recent years. These versatile machines are designed to handle both pavement and trails with ease. KTM's Adventure Series alone spans from 390 cubic centimeters to 1,290 cubic centimeters, with multiple versions tailored for different terrains. The 2024 KTM 1290 Super Adventure leans more toward street riding but can still tackle off-road conditions, while the 2024 KTM 1290 Super Adventure R is built with a stronger focus on dirt performance. KTM also offers the 890 SMT, a sport touring bike, and the 1290 Super Duke GT, a high-performance touring model designed for long-distance comfort. While KTM is widely known for its off-road capabilities, the company has also made a name for itself in the street motorcycle market. The Duke series, which first launched 3 decades ago, remains one of KTM's best-selling street bikes. The latest lineup includes models ranging from 200cc to the powerful 1,390cc Super Duke, all featuring aggressive styling, 6-speed transmissions, quick acceleration, and sharp handling. The Super Duke models, in particular, have earned a reputation as some of the best motorcycles KTM has ever produced. For those who prefer sport bikes, KTM offers the RC series, with 2 standout models currently available. The KTM RC 390, designed with a Grand Prix-inspired look, is a lightweight sport bike suitable for both street and track riding. On the more exclusive end, the KTM RC 8C is a full-fledged race bike with a limited production run of just 200 units, making it a rare find in dealerships. When it comes to pricing, KTM motorcycles tend to sit at the higher end compared to Japanese competitors, but there are reasons for that. A bike like the 2023 KTM 390 Duke, for example, has a starting price of $5,899, which is noticeably higher than the 2023 Yamaha MT-03 at $4,999 and the 2023 Honda CB 300R at $5,049. However, KTM's engine sizes don't always follow the industry standard, which impacts their pricing. The 390 Duke's engine is slightly larger than most 250 to 300cc bikes, but smaller than a 500cc, so its price sits in between. Many of KTM's other street models follow a similar pattern, offering performance levels that fall in between typical engine categories. A key part of KTM's success comes from its dominance in motorcycle racing. The brand has consistently proven itself against the competition in top-tier events like MotoGP, AMA Supercross, AMA Pro National Motocross, FIM Motocross, and Super Enduro. Between 2001 and 2019, KTM won the Dakar Rally 18 years in a row, with its current champion Kevin Benavides continuing the legacy. In MotoGP, KTM had 4 RC16s on the grid in 2023, including one piloted by Jack Miller, a Grand Prix race winner. Most recently, KTM celebrated another major victory when Josep Garcia secured the 2023 Enduro One World Cup Championship in Portugal. Garcia dominated the season, finishing with a 32-point lead while also topping the Enduro GP standings. His latest title marked his 3rd World Championship victory on KTM motorcycles, adding to his previous wins in Enduro, 2 from 2017 and 2021. With 9 Enduro One wins out of the 12 race days that season, it was yet another testament to KTM's relentless pursuit of excellence on and off the track. Now, given KTM's reputation for building ridiculously fun bikes, it's no shock that when people were looking for new ways to let loose after COVID lockdowns, KTM was top of mind. With months of limited spending leaving them with extra cash, buyers went all in, snagging high-performance motorcycles, tricked-out e-bikes, and whatever else promised a serious adrenaline rush. Sensing the opportunity, KTM ramped up production to keep up with the surge in demand. But the supply chain was still struggling to recover from the pandemic. By the time KTM was finally producing at full capacity, the market had cooled off. Sales started to slow, leaving the company with an enormous stockpile of unsold motorcycles. The impact was especially noticeable in key markets like India, where KTM had been selling thousands of 390S every month, only to see that number plummet to just a few hundred. Now, KTM AG is staring down nearly 3 billion euros in debt, the equivalent of over $3.1 billion US. The biggest financial hit has come from their e-bike division, where sales have dropped by 36% compared to the previous year. Motorcycle sales haven't fared much better, seeing a 27% decline in the first half of the year. At the moment, KTM is sitting on a full year's worth of unsold inventory, 265,000 motorcycles, which is nearly half the total number of bikes sold annually in the US. Between January 2023 and October 2024, KTM's financial situation took a turn for the worse, with the company's need for cash skyrocketing by 440 million euros, about $457 million. Desperate to offload excess inventory, KTM even gave e-bikes to employees rather than letting them collect dust. Structural changes also followed, including a drastic reduction in its board of directors, cutting it from 6 members to just 2. Stefan Pierer remains at the helm, alongside Gottfried Neumeister, a specialist in corporate turnarounds. As part of the restructuring, KTM laid off 573 employees from its Austrian factories, a move tied to its shift in production to India and China. While severance pay was provided to those who lost their jobs, the situation for remaining workers has been more uncertain. Salaries for November went unpaid, Christmas bonuses were canceled, and December paychecks remain in question for approximately 3,600 employees. There is some relief available through Austria's Insolvency Compensation Fund, a safety net designed for situations like this. The impact of KTM's struggles extends far beyond its brand. Bajaj Auto, KTM's longtime Indian partner, is deeply intertwined with the company. Bajaj has been producing KTM's smaller single-cylinder models, ranging from 125 cubic centimeters to 390 cubic centimeters, since 2011. In 2021, Bajaj shifted its KTM stake in exchange for shares in Pierer Mobility, KTM's parent company. Now, the two companies are collaborating on a 48-volt electric motorcycle platform, expected to power future models like the KTM e-Duke and Husqvarna e-Pilon. However, one major project, the KTM 490 series, a 500cc parallel twin lineup once rumored to include adventure, Duke, sports, and supermoto models, appears to have been quietly scrapped. News of KTM's financial struggles initially caused Bajaj's stock price to dip, though it has since stabilized. While the situation is concerning, Bajaj's primary business revolves around small motorcycles, and the company has the financial reserves to weather the storm. Other KTM-owned brands, such as Husqvarna and GasGas, will also feel the effects. Moving forward, there will be less overlap between KTM's sub-brands, with GasGas focusing on entry-level motocross and enduro models, while KTM remains committed to high-level racing, including AMA Supercross and MotoGP. KTM's influence doesn't stop there. In late 2022, the company acquired a 25.1% stake in MV Agusta, injecting the struggling Italian brand with a much-needed €30 million. As part of the deal, KTM took over MV Agusta's purchasing and supply chain operations, forming a new entity called MV Agusta Services SRL. KTM is also handling MV Agusta's worldwide distribution, a move that originally started in North America but has since expanded globally. Despite holding only a minority stake in MV Agusta, KTM's involvement is growing. There are already whispers that the company may seek a larger share in the future. Meanwhile, MV Agusta has publicly stated that the ownership structure will not impact its operations or research and development, which remain based in Varese, Italy. KTM's partnership with Chinese manufacturer CFMOTO is another area facing potential disruption. CF Moto has been building KTM's 790 models, including the Duke and Adventure, and is expected to produce 25,000 units in 2023, with the capacity to scale up to 50,000 annually. CF Moto also benefits from KTM's technology, using the Austrian company's 799 cubic centimeter LC8C parallel twin engine in its own 800 MT adventure bike and upcoming 800 NK street bike. Additionally, KTM's larger LC8V twin serves as the foundation for CF Moto's 1279 cubic centimeter V twin, which powers the 1250 TRG Tourer and the soon-to-be-released 1250NK. KTM's design partner Kiska has played a key role in shaping CF Moto's recent styling, and KTM has managed CF Moto's European distribution since early 2023. Any financial instability at KTM could have a ripple effect on CF Moto's operations, particularly in Europe, where KTM's dealer network is crucial for CF Moto's expansion. WP Suspension, KTM's in-house suspension brand, is also likely to be affected. Beyond motorcycles, KTM has investments in high-end bicycle brands, including Felt Bicycles, a premium American company specializing in time trial bikes. The company's e-bike subsidiaries are struggling, but its smaller division, Pankoil AG, is expected to be more stable. Pankoil operates outside the motorcycle industry, providing consulting services in motorsports, high-performance automotive engineering, and aerospace. One area where KTM may be forced to make tough decisions is racing. The cost of competing in MotoGP is enormous, and even major manufacturers like Kawasaki and Suzuki have withdrawn from the series due to financial constraints. However, KTM's entire brand identity is built around racing, with the slogan "Ready to Race" serving as its core philosophy. The company recently finished second in the MotoGP Constructors' Championship, making it difficult to justify an exit. Additionally, leaving MotoGP before the end of their contract would come with financial penalties from Dorna, the series organizer. There's been a lot of buzz lately about Red Bull, a major KTM sponsor, possibly taking over KTM's MotoGP program, kind of like how they run their hugely successful Formula One team. But Red Bull has shut down those rumors for now. Meanwhile, KTM is already making moves to cut back on its off-road racing involvement. They've pulled out of the FIM World Hard Enduro Championship, which could even put events like the Outliers race in Canada at risk. Even KTM's iconic Dakar Rally program is feeling the squeeze, with fewer resources being funneled into the competition. But with debts mounting and inventory piling up, the big question is, how does KTM plan to get out of this financial jam? Now, there are a couple of ways this could go for KTM. Right now, they're hoping to dig themselves out of this mess with the help of restructuring expert Gottfried Neumeister, some layoffs, and a plan they'll present to the authorities. If their creditors agree to it, KTM will move forward. If they don't, things could take a turn for the worse. But let's say the plan gets the green light. This means KTM will commit to paying off 30% of its debt over the next 2 years, instead of defaulting entirely. The first order of business will be clearing out existing stock, so expect some major discounts on KTM, Husqvarna, and gas models. The good news for buyers is that KTM's bikes are always packed with cutting-edge tech, meaning even leftover inventory won't feel outdated. Beyond that, the company will need to simplify its lineup. Its smaller bikes already share a lot of parts, with a single-engine design powering multiple models across 4 brands. That kind of efficiency saves a fortune in production costs, and KTM will likely extend that approach to its larger bikes. Expect to see fewer engine variations, with different tuning levels separating the models, similar to how BMW handles its parallel twin engines. Another area that will take a hit is research and development, especially for niche projects like the Expo, RC8C, and 450 Rally Replica. Right now, every dollar counts, so KTM can't afford to spread itself too thin on specialized models. But beyond restructuring and cost-cutting, the company still needs financial backing. One possibility is Bajaj increasing its stake in KTM AG, but that would shift control of the company and fundamentally change how it operates. Other motorcycle manufacturers are watching the situation closely. If KTM starts slashing prices to move inventory, it could trigger a chain reaction in the already razor-thin margin performance bike market. That kind of shakeup could affect the entire industry. Looking ahead, KTM has a long road to recovery. The focus will have to shift toward profitability, and with that comes an identity challenge. KTM has always been known for its high-strung, performance-first machines, bikes that pushed the limits of power but didn't always prioritize reliability. That reputation wasn't helped by the rapid production pace during KTM's peak years, which led to quality control issues and warranty claims. Now, with trust on the line, KTM has a lot to prove, not just in making fast bikes, but in showing they're built to last. But until then, the big question remains. Can KTM rebuild not just its finances, but also its reputation? Share your thoughts in the comment below. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button.